And last but not least, we're going to Harry Pettigrew at Atrium News. Harry.
Thank you, Minister. Can you clarify whether these isolation methods mainly apply to Welsh students living in England, or do students living in student accommodation in Wales have to follow the same protocols?
What we're talking about today are for students who are resident here in Wales. You'll be aware of announcements made by colleagues in other administrations. So what I would say to a Welsh student who is studying and living at the moment in Scotland or England, please abide by the rules that those nations have put in place and the arrangements that have been put in place. Here, what we're talking about is advice to students that are studying here, whether they be returning to a home address in Wales or whether they be looking to return to addresses in other parts of the United Kingdom at the end of the academic year here in Wales.
Thank you. And another question, what support will be offered for students suffering with mental health issues if they are told to remain in student accommodation?
Well, we would only anticipate that students would be required to remain in student accommodation if they are themselves in receipt of a COVID-19 positive test, or they have been identified as a close contact by our TTP team. If that is the case, they should isolate for 14 days, and universities have been supporting students throughout this academic year who have had to do that. The arrangements that we're making in place here is that there is an opportunity, there is a gap there that if you need to do that, you will still be able to complete your quarantine and be able to get home by Christmas Eve. But you should only be required to stay if you're in those circumstances. There may be some students for particular personal reasons who want to stay on campus over Christmas and not return at all. They should make themselves known to their universities, and the universities will be in a position to support them if that's the choice that an individual student makes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, I think that brings us to the end of this afternoon's press conference. And once again, thank you very much for your time and attention. Diolch yn fawr iawn.